splendid good morning to one and all. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being the first day of November 2022, which means the start of a brand new month. And certainly welcome all those of you who are only celebrating today. Good morning and happy birthday to you if it's on this particular date. You came into the Almighty's world. Let me say good morning to our listeners, those of you via K105, whatever part of the island you tuned in and you're listening from. Let me say good morning to you. Thanks for being part of To The Point for today. Those of you via GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channels 20, good morning to you also. And thanks for taking the time out to tune in this morning. What about our social media? Listeners this morning, viewers from that point of view, let me say good morning to you. Hope all is well. Those of you via the Facebook page, don't forget to, when you tune in, share the live. Those of you via also our YouTube channel, I want to wish you all the best. And hey, view it and listen there. And today being Tuesday, and it's the first day of November, and it's an interesting day this morning because it's the resumption of Opposition Tuesday here on To The Point, and which means that we'll be hosting members of the opposition in Grenada from time to time on a Tuesday once they are available. And certainly this morning we will be hosting a representative from the opposition here in Grenada, and no other than of course, let me get that. See, man, I slip on his name. Let me say good morning to him. Let me just let him introduce himself. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing? You know, I almost slipped on your name there for a wee bit, you know. Somehow I think your microphone is muted a wee bit. So maybe...
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on, GB. And yes, I was scheduled to come on, I think, last Tuesday, but it was a holiday.
All right.
And so I'm here today. It's been a while since I've been on GBN.
All right.
But it's always a pleasure to join GBN and to say morning to the listeners and viewers as well. And today is for Christians who celebrate All Saints Day. Today is All Saints Day, and so that is something that we want to recognize too, as well as persons go to pay memories to the loved ones who have passed and gone to the great beyond. And so it's a very significant day for us today and tomorrow in the Christian faith.
All right.
So just want to signal that too as well.
All right. Once again, I want to thank you, Senator Norland Clarks. I almost slipped on your name there for a wee bit this morning. I wonder why. I don't know why. It was embedded in my mind all day long, and somehow I just got a little bit of a brain freeze there for a minute. But nevertheless, let's continue. Well, welcome. It's Opposition Tuesday here on To The Point this morning, and I did say welcome and welcome again. And thanks for, of course, making the time to be with us here this morning. And we're going to get directly into the conversation this morning. Lots to talk about, and certainly you will answer to the best of your ability. Now we're going to get the ball rolling off this morning, and I'm not sure if maybe you can hear the audio part of it, but I'm going to kick it off with an accusation that was laid by the Honorable Prime Minister last night. I'm going to kick it off with that, let you have a listen up, and we come back with a few questions related to that, if that is okay with you this morning.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, sure.
No problem.
So I'll have Master Control roll that clip, and those of you, the viewing and listening audience, you can also listen to it, and we come back with some questions for Senator Norland Cox. Let's go over to Master Control as we roll that off this morning.
National Front. We'll come to that. A gentleman of Polish origin applied apparently to be made ambassador at large on behalf of the citizens of Grenada. That gentleman was told, and it appears that the then cabinet, agreed to appoint the gentleman as ambassador at large. He was told that in order to do so, he needed to pay US $290,000 to the state of Grenada. $150,000 was paid to the state of Grenada, and there's a treasury receipt for it. Another $140,000 was paid to the New National Party South St. George office. Let me repeat that. $140,000 US was paid, and this is in June of 2022, right before the elections. $140,000 US paid to the New National Party South St. George office. We have the records. So since the cabinet conclusion said it was $290,000 US to the state of Grenada, last time I checked, the Constitution does not establish the New National Party South St. George office as part of the state of Grenada. So my free advice now is that the New National Party South St. George office, or the New National Party for that matter, should kindly hand over to the state of Grenada. The 100
know, and I will throw out some questions to you pertaining to that. I'm assuming that you have listened and heard the accusation that's been laid out there. What is your response on a personal level or from a party level to the accusation that has been thrown out there by the Honorable Prime Minister during that town hall meeting last evening?
Okay. Thank you very much, GT, for raising that. And I think it's probably important that I put things into context before I respond directly. Initially, I planned to come onto this program. I think coincidentally, the town hall meeting took place last night, and this matter come about. And obviously, one would definitely want to point to look at the time of what the Prime Minister is indicating when such transaction took place is what in the heart of elections. And as the candidate who ran in the South for the National Party, I think it is important, and I'm happy that this matter was raised. Because you see, one of the things that I know, sometimes it's better to know what is being said about you openly than behind your back. So at least you can defend yourself. I think that is most critical. But not so much for myself, but more so for the people who worked with me, the staff, the people who supported me in the elections. I must say thank you to them for believing in what I was proposing and believing who I am and my values, my expertise and experience, and what I was able to do with their support. I think it's important that I respond more so for them in defense of them than anything else. So it's within that context I am responding. As it relates to what was said, I can clearly state that our campaign, which we were unsuccessful, in no way, our records show that we have not received any direct funding from any foreign donor. All our support were from ordinary persons, local businesses, and even former parliamentary reps who supported for the South St. George, who support our campaign. So that is the fact, and I want to repeat again that my campaign and my staff, we have not received or been in contact with any individual. I don't know what nationality, I can't remember what was mentioned. We have not been in any contact and with anybody via email, phone call, anything of that sort for any financial support to my campaign. We don't have. What the accounts that we oversee for my campaign never received such transaction. I want to repeat again, the accounts that I and my staff oversee for the campaign did not, all our support were from local donors. And so I think that is something that I just want to make clear. So I am lost myself as to the allegations of someone counting in NNP South St. George constituency name. So I don't know. I came into the constituency in early January, February, thereabout. and thereafter we were campaigning. So I cannot speak to any such account. I do not have no knowledge or access to such account. I cannot say. So that is the facts, and I think in the interest of the person who worked in on my campaign, I think it's important that we make it clear that we have not been in contact or communication with any. I think I can't remember the Polish or something. I think that was mentioned. Mm-hmm. So those are the facts. I think the presenter of the information indicated that he have the information, and I'm quite certain that none of my staff members nor myself name will not be found in any document or so, anything of that sort. That is what I'm certain about. So, I mean, I heard it last night, and then I had an opportunity as I woke this morning to just go back and have a quick look at the town hall. And which I'll speak some more about. This morning, we have a few things to enlighten the nation about regarding some of the things that were mentioned. But in that particular issue, that is my position and the position of the staff who work with me on my campaign, and those are the facts.
Let me also ask you this: how serious are you taking such accusation, where it was laid that your constituency that you were part of running for election? How serious are you taking that accusation?
Well, I mean, they have not really. I mean, I'm not so familiar with the whole legal process because. I'm
not certain in terms of you bringing it on a legal level.
No, but I'm saying that they have not implicated my campaign in any way or myself. I think they said it's an account in the name of the South St. George constituency office. Mm-hmm. So that is something that's a separate matter. I know our campaign is not have any knowledge of such account or any dealings with such account. So that is the facts as it stands, and that is as far as I can say on the matter. I don't have any other information. As I said, just last night I heard this, and I just quickly call a few persons and say, did you receive any such donation from overseas in such amount? And nobody. That is the situation at hand.
All right. Well, that seems to have cleared the air on that piece of information there as we started off this morning. Let's take a first break. We come back with some more conversation with you, Senator, just after the break. Stay with us here. It's To The Point for today,
Thank
Tuesday.
You. All right.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
The National Insurance Scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform.
Welcome back, our listeners and viewers this morning. It's To The Point for today, Tuesday, the first day of November, 2022. It's Opposition Tuesday here on K105 and GBN TV on To The Point this morning. We have, of course, Opposition member or Senator Norland with us this morning as we chit-chat about issues that are relevant to our beautiful island of Grenada. Senator Cox, welcome back.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here as usual.
All right. So let's move on. We recently the new government, of course, had their 100 days in government. You know, I'm being part of government. Is there any assessment you would like to give on the 100 days from your personal view or from the party that you represent? Give us a synopsis of the 100 days if you have anything to say about that.
I don't even know where to start because The town hall last night was supposed to be about the 100 days and the state of affairs. I think that was announced. But I don't think that much time was spent on the 100 days. And for obvious reasons. There is not much to talk or celebrate about without in any way giving credit to the National Party. So we don't expect them to say much. Because whatever foundation or platform that they're operating on, those foundations were built by the new National Party government. So they have yet to actually set any foundation for themselves or any significant initiative. Even the touting of the paying of the pensions is as a result of monies that they met in the Treasury. And so it's not as a result of initiatives that they would have done to generate those funds. Those are funds that you met there. All right, so that I could understand why they haven't spoken much about that. But they're spending quite a bit of time speaking on the state of affairs. And I think that is a good way for me to respond on the state of affairs in this country. And I'll probably start the same place that the Prime Minister started by speaking about the working issues, the labor issues, and indicating that there is no such feeling or atmosphere or environment of fear in the workforce because or by the actions as a result of the actions of his government. And that is untrue. People are scared. People are scared to exercise their democratic right. For a government that is talking so much about democracy and dignity, we'll speak more about the dignity as we go along. People are scared to go to certain functions because there are operatives going out, taking out pictures and bringing it back to other operatives who are just taking deliberate actions on persons. So you have persons who have been working for 20 years in a particular post and just receive a letter and say, we no longer need your services. Could you understand? Put yourself, I want anyone to put yourself in that person's position and tell me how that person receives such a message. Somebody who, ordinary worker who has the family who have commitments to go to work and to be sent on vacation. So take a vacation, then after a vacation, work excited to go back to work. You're saying that we no longer need your services. So that is the state of affairs in this country. Persons have been sent home because of victimization. That is a fact, and there is a fear. You can go throughout, in sports, we see in excess of 20-something contractors who have workers under them are given letters to go home. But then what we're hearing, when everything exploded, we're hearing that it was a miscommunication. A miscommunication to send 22 persons to terminate or to cease 22 contracts. That's a miscommunication. That's a deliberate action. And it's those actions that is instilling that fear in the workers of this nation. That is what is happening. That is the current state of affairs in this country. And the Prime Minister is presiding over this. And that is the fact. I wasn't sure that he was aware of some of those things, but from his utterances last night, it is clear that those initiatives and policy directives are led by him. So I think that is something that is really a big issue right now. And he basically indicated that in some way that the unions were lying, that what they discuss is not what they're saying. No, I don't know. I was not part of those discussions. But it is clear that they indicated that they are going to take care of the workers, that contract work will be a thing of the past. And I'm certain that each and every single Grenadian would have heard this preach over and over. And additionally, it was said that contracts are illegal. That is what was said by the Prime Minister. And he will put that to an end. But do you know that since taking office, they have issued contracts, 2-year contracts, to nurses and other persons. So I don't know. I mean, tell me. I don't know if this government thinks that the people of this country are in some way blind, but you are saying one thing, all right? You're condemning a government for doing one thing. And when you get into office, you basically went and do the same thing and even worse. So that is the state of affairs in this country. So that is one of the first things that we wanted to highlight, the fear. But we want to call on workers to continue to stay the fight. We do have some support systems to help persons through this challenging time, persons who are targeted. We see attacks in every aspect. We'll speak more on that as we go along, GT, but I just wanted to highlight that issue, that issue that is affecting and plaguing workers in this country. So you will hear more. More is coming. We have information reports that more firings, more dismissals are going to come as we move forward. So persons have to band their belly and to get ready for what is coming. So I just wanted to start on where the Prime Minister started on the whole issue of relationship and with the workers. So I just wanted to state that.
All right. On when the election was called, there was a number of projects that the previous administration that you were a part of left. And these projects, the status of them was said by by new ministers who are now in charge. Now, so give us a little bit of a synopsis on those projects, and what do you think, especially projects like the Library Road, the Molyneux Road, the traffic lights, and so forth. And when your administration left government, they were just left, and there were reports that it was left in shambles. Give us a how's that? I'm seeing you smiling. I'm not sure why.
Because I have to smile because it is like you have a vehicle, you offer it for sale, you have driven it for 10, 12 years, service it properly, perfect working condition, and the person who bought it off you, indicating to somebody else or to the public that the vehicle is no good, but they are driving to work every day without no issues, no problem. So it's a situation where that they are enjoying the hard work and the benefits of the work of the new National Party government, but yet they want to condemn the government. So I don't understand how you could meet a government in shambles. I don't understand, and I'll touch a little bit on that, but after let me speak on the projects. And I'll touch a little bit on the whole issue and what they inherited. And I think it's important that the public know what is it that the NDC government really inherited. So I think they made an attempt last night to speak on some matters, including the one that I addressed earlier, and as to that is what they inherited. But that is not what they inherited. And I'll let the public know what they inherited.
Well, let us hear it.
So in terms of what they inherited, it's simple and straightforward. It's very simple. GT, they inherited a robust economy. They inherited a robust economy that had significant positive growth in excess of 8 years consecutively. That is what they inherited. They inherited a country with a steady decrease in unemployment. That is what they inherited. They inherited a country that has recovered from one of the worst pandemics in the world. A safe country. Could you recall? We were standing in lines to go and get food and services. We were standing in line for weeks. And the new National Party government is the one who oversee and ensure that the country was restored. That is what they inherited. They inherited a stable government. They inherited millions of dollars in the treasury. That is what they inherited. That is the reason why they can now hire scores of advisors and transition leads or whatever they call them And then you speak about value for money. Value for money. You are attacking a ordinary contractor who is making an honest living from work. And you want to compare that by you hiring somebody as an advisor or transition lead, and nobody knows what they're doing. The country knows what they're doing. You're paying them $1,000 every month, and you're talking about wastage. If you want to talk about wastage, that is wastage. That is wastage. I recall former Prime Minister and now leader of the opposition had one advisor, and there was a big hoorah. One advisor. Yeah. Now they have, each minister might have 2 or 3 advisors and transition leads. And yet for all, they are still having problems. So we will deal with that. They also inherited numerous infrastructure projects that is creating a sustainable economic impact for this country, for creating jobs for ordinary man who have the kids, who have the job, who have the mortgages, the businesses. Everybody is being impacted by those projects. They inherited housing, hundreds of housing, low-income housing for people who are struggling with housing needs. That is what they inherited. They're not speaking about that. You hear them speaking about that? They ain't speaking about that. They inherited significant investment in health. We have a brand new polyclinic in Guav, brand new polyclinic, state-of-the-art polyclinic. We have a brand new hospital wing where we have nephrology and dialysis treatment now taking place in this country. We have a new accident and emergency. We have a new lab. That is what they inherit. They are not saying that. We have a significant infrastructure work taking place on our airport. New tower, storage facility. That is what they inherited. No. They are struggling. They are struggling to govern. And their way of trying to cover up their weaknesses and inadequacies and incompetence is by trying to attack the new national party. That is what they're trying to do. But we know. And, for the member of parliament for St. David's, he inherited 2 5-star hotels in his constituency. But yet for all, he pivoted to say and to attack an ordinary construction worker in his constituency who may have had challenges with cash flow for implementing infrastructure work. And he's boasting that he will ensure that the contractor fails. But yet for all, GTN, what is most alarming and very disappointing is that we are hearing their allegations that this government is planning to use state resources to bail out a minister of government. That is what we're hearing. It is alleged that is what is planning, works are in motion. So here, you're hearing this. You're using state resources. You're planning to use state resources. I want to say that is alleged. That is what we see on social media. That you're planning, that there is a plan, allegedly a plan, to use state resources to bail out a minister of government. But yet for all, you are deliberately destroying the livelihood of a simple, ordinary construction worker in your constituency. I think this is alarming. I think this is glaring. And so I just wanted to point that out. And so those are some of the things that we see as what they have inherited. But they could only just pull out 2 or 3 issues that they believe that they can get some political mileage from. And so I just wanted to signal that. As regards to the projects, we have some significant projects that is impacting this country in a significant way. And I want to speak a little bit more again on the projects as I'll speak a bit, especially the concrete works. And maybe I'll deal with that first. Now, and it seemed like there was some direction towards me as the former Minister for Infrastructure to indicate disproportionately numerous works have been done in St. George's as against the different constituencies. But I smile when I hear that, because what is evident is that the Prime Minister is far removed and really doesn't understand the importance of infrastructure and the impact that it is making, it has on the ordinary man in this country. And I think that is the issue. He doesn't understand that. And I don't know if I can blame him in so much words. Because, GT, when you come from an environment where you could write a letter and receive $500 for writing a letter, the ordinary contractor doesn't have the luxury of doing that. Where you could prepare a contract and get $100,000 for writing a contract, the ordinary man have to work months, night and day, to get that, to earn that. So, and that is what I'm saying, that he doesn't understand the impact. And so I don't get it why he's attacking ordinary contractors, the ordinary Grenadians, who he claimed that they love so dearly. I don't understand. Why is he attacking them? I don't know. I don't know if they understand what the impact of 300 small concrete projects have for this country and for families. I don't know.
But if I can interject on you here, Senator, he was saying that with the 300 contracts that were out, the work was not able to see the work proceed. They weren't able to see it.
Well, and that's the point I'm making. It is because of the environment that he comes from, and he's far removed. He doesn't see it, and he doesn't understand. So better he says that than he attack it. Better he asks somebody to explain. But I think it was a slap in the face to some of the parliamentary reps that were sitting there. And I could speak more directly to the parliamentary rep for the South. So you want to tell me that the roads that were built in Coffeyville Hill, that were long awaited a decade or more, that is no value for money for ordinary citizens who are taxpayers of this country? I don't know. You want to tell me the road between Jangley connecting Gulf Coast that collapsed, that we had to run for emergency to build a retaining wall and restore the road so that persons can traverse between Jangley and Gulf Coast safely? You want to tell me that has no value? And I could go on and on. And Guankai, where vehicles couldn't even go to the homes of persons. Now vehicles can traverse so that persons who might fall ill in the night, a vehicle can come up, the ambulance can come and get them. They have the challenge of the water truck can go safely to bring basic needs for them. You are telling me you can see that those initiatives have value for people in the constituency and this country? Well, I am really, really, really lost. Trust me, because I don't know. I mean, I can recall meeting ordinary citizens who have been struggling sometimes with drainage issues that is impacting the building. There are homes in Granland's area that have to be demolished because of water issues. You want to tell me, so if you do initiatives to save people's homes, that has no value? You can't see the value? The only thing you see of value is a long stretch of asphalt road in Hermitage in St. Patrick's. That is the only thing you see of value, and a couple of bridges? Well, if that is the case, well then, the investment that we make in agriculture, I don't think you will see too.
Senator Cox, I'm gonna just stop you for a bit, because I know you would like to go on and on and on and speak about loads of infrastructure that the past administration may have got into, and that you would like to speak about that. But we drew for a short break. Let's take that break. When we come back, I do have some other questions that I would like to ask, so we'll come back right after.
And I do want to touch on some other issues as well.
Okay, let's go ahead. We're coming right back.
Great.
National Insurance Scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform. Now we're introducing a new feature that allows you to submit your benefit claims from the convenience of your smart devices. No paper, no hassle. All you have to do is log in to my.nisgrenada.org. Select claims, fill out the relevant information, and click submit. We'll take it from there. It's that simple and that easy. Submit a claim from the comfort of your home as you rest and recuperate. Enjoy the convenience of faster claim processing and monitor the status of your claim every step of the way. We are excited to introduce this new feature to better serve you. NIS is changing the game and the way you make your claim. Access anywhere and anytime with MyNIS Online.
Mention the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
When you push your jump, it is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind.
Welcome back to our listeners and viewers this morning. To the Point Tuesday, the 1st of November, and it's Opposition Tuesday here on To the Point this morning. And we do have the Senator, Senator Norland Cox with us this morning. Senator, we spoke a lot this morning for the last, could I say, the last 40 minutes. Lots of conversation we had. There's something I would like to ask. Now, there's the 2023 budget that is ahead of us. What are some of the recommendations that you may like to see in that budget that will benefit Grenada as a whole? If there's any recommendation that you can put forward this morning.
It's a very good question, and I do know that the government, as normal with the Ministry of Finance, would have had a round of consultations with the public in terms of contribution towards the budget. And there are a few critical areas that I believe is important for the government to treat with going forward. A lot of it is not hard interventions, but soft interventions, which I think is critical, and some of it is missed a lot. One of the areas, I mean, my recommendations may fall sometimes contrary to the transformative agenda. That is something that we will have to flesh out at another time,
all right.
Maybe another place. But that is an interesting topic. So I look forward to speaking about the transformative agenda. So my recommendation sometimes may fall contrary to the transformative agenda, and sometimes people believe that. Or transforming or doing something different, repackaging it, means that it is different and is impactful, and it doesn't. Not because you call out in referring to the country or the state. You call Peter Matnick first doesn't mean that is things are going to change or get better. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean because you do it that way. It doesn't mean that now things will turn around. Because the work has to be done. The fact of the matter is there are fundamental things that take place in government, and the work have to be done. So one can speak, one can say, come up with all these grand plans. The work have to be done. But an area that I think that is critical for this country, that is somewhat missed and under the radar, and that has to do with the whole issue of needs, children with special needs. I think there is a significant opportunity for us to have some form of structure or establishment, an institution to deal, or special school. I know where we have the school for the special needs, but we want a home, a dedicated organization to deal with kids with special needs, because I think there is an opportunity that's missed there. And parents too, they are also victims of this, and they struggle a lot with this. I have an opportunity to experience that family and friends, and I think that is an area in which I think we can do some more work. So I do hope that budget lends itself to addressing that critical issue of children and family who is affected with children with special needs. So that is one of the things that I just want to touch on.
Senator Cox, let me also... The government speaks a lot of the transformation agenda that they plans for this beautiful tri-island of ours. From a new national party standpoint, what does the new national party, the opposition party, how do you feel about the government's transformation agenda and the progress that it is making so far, if there's any?
Well, I think that's a question I would like to ask them. How do they feel about their transformation agenda? Well, I did heard some time back that it is not so much transformation but more restoration, whatever that is. So I am still waiting to see the transformation agenda. I have not been hard or unreasonable in any way on them in requesting certain things. I've been patiently waiting, watching to see this transformation agenda. There is calls that transformation agenda would take time. It'll take 3 years, 5 years. That's why I know they probably have not fleshed out the timers yet when they can start seeing some real outcomes from the transformational initiatives, if they have already crafted those. So I think it's more for a question for the government of the day, because that is their prime subject, and that is what they are campaigned on, and that is what everything that they do is transformational. I even heard the Minister of Agriculture say he's going to transform the bushing program. So everything is transformational. So I think it is more for a matter for them to answer that question than so much me, because even the debushing, I don't think that they have really thought this thing through in terms of what they're proposing for the debushing and how it's going to impact persons who are benefiting the program now, how they are going to be, they will not be able to access the program. And that is the real honesty of what will happen. And I'll give you an example. Let's say that you are part of the program. Yeah, you have a job that probably starts in the evening, every evening shift, say probably in someplace else, and you have an opportunity to work in the program in the morning. If the program now runs for the entire day, obviously, it's either you stay in the bushing program or you leave the other two initiatives that you have income coming in from, and that is as simple as that. So I think they have not really thought this through. And even someone was saying to me, and I didn't even pay attention to that, but somebody was saying to me that, look, you can't have people walking on the road 8 to 4 like that. There are some basic things that we will have to look at, like toilet facilities. If you have somebody on a road whole day, how are they going to access toilet facilities? Are the transport going to pick them up and bring one person to a washroom close by? I don't know. So those are some of the things that they have to flesh out. That is their policy. That is, in their mind, they believe as transforming the debushing. And in some way, they believe that the bushers are unfair or not adding value for money. That is what they indicated. But yet, for all your pain, we are hearing persons have been paid thousands of dollars monthly, and we don't know what to do. We have no other terms of reference. We have no good now. But that is what we hear.
So, Dr. Cox, you made reference in previous statements, and you made reference to the word dignity. And you plan on expanding on that a wee bit for me this morning. I'm giving you the opportunity to expand.
I'm happy that you reminded me on that.
I want you to expand on that.
Right. And the word dignity, it comes right back to the issue of pensions. And I stand corrected, because I don't want to misrepresent anybody's previous comments. And I'm quite certain that the nation and yourself may have heard that the court, and that is the word of this government. The court have ruled. We are going to abide by the court ruling, and we are going to pay pensions and restore the dignity of citizens of this country. That is what they said. Point blank. Contracts are illegal, pensions must be paid. Now, we are hearing that it will be too much persons if we make everybody permanent. We, as a government, we made mention of that and indicated the difficulties and the complexities of this and how doing it together with NS. Now we're hearing that NS may have to go. I'm certain that is what I heard and other persons, I stand corrected, that NS may have to go. Persons should not be receiving two pensions. Government cannot sustain the pensions, and the pension scheme must be contributory, and so we have to do pension reform. That is what is being talked about now. So the back pay is going to be paid, and then we have to talk pension reform. That is what is being proposed. So where is the dignity? You said that you're restoring dignity. Now is an issue. I didn't say it. How are you telling me that you're restoring dignity when you're stripping people of the job daily? I don't think you're restoring. You're destroying people's dignity. That is what is happening. That is what is happening. So it can't be both ways. It just cannot be both ways. And so what was said, contracts are illegal. The court have ruled pension must be paid point blank to the 1958. So now I'm hearing all kind of contributory and restructuring and whatsoever. So that is a matter that they will have to discuss with the labor people and to see how the members treat with that. But that there lies the challenge, you know. So on one hand, you're saying that you want to restore people's dignity. On the other hand, you're destroying their families. That is what is happening. So I mean, I say this because I think it's important for us to raise those things. That is what was said. I am only saying what I said. That is all. I am not making up any stories. That is what was said. And it's said over and over on this campaign trail. I mean, I could go into agriculture. I would love to dive into agriculture. And really, because I'm not certain to show what they really want to do. Because I hear talk about agri-processing. I don't really want to go into that. But let me touch a little bit on alternative energy. It is the new National Party government and the leader of the new National Party who has advocated for decades for alternative energy to bring the energy cost down to impact economic development in this country in a positive. You could go back. All the clips are there. While you have somebody who worked night and day to ensure that we didn't achieve that. But today, they are purporting alternative energy. I am lost. I am lost. We fought to get the company back into the hands of the country so that it would give us an opportunity to make the necessary configurations to help persons who are struggling with meeting those energy costs, to find a way to get it down so that our people can thrive economically and otherwise. That is the main objective, why we believe that if the company is nationally owned, it gives us that leverage and flexibility so that we can make those adjustments. If it's in the private hands, you have limitations. You can't do anything unless you maybe put some policy measures in place, and then you find yourself in court as what transpired. So all of a sudden now, alternative energy is a big thing, as if we never pushed that. We pushed that right through. We passed legislation to support the implementation, the use of alternative energy. That is what we've been doing. So I am puzzled in more ways than one as to what is really going on. So those are the state of affairs in the country. That is the state of affairs. That is the true state of affairs in this country right now. And so that is what I really wanted to touch on and a couple other things. But I know that.
I'll let you put a cap on the other things. We drew for a break. Let's take that break, and we do have not much time left on the program this morning, just around 6 minutes. So when we do come back from the break, I'll give you the opportunity to touch on some of the other things that you think that it's critical that you mention in the program this morning. When we come back after the break, stay with us. We're coming right back, folks.
Certainly, yeah.
Mention the wing kai, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake, I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Welcome back to our viewers and listeners this morning. And of course, it's Opposition Tuesday. We do have Senator Dolan Cox with us this morning. And Senator, we're in the final couple of minutes left on this morning's program. And you did mention there were some other things that you would like to get in. And I will certainly give you an opportunity to take a minute or two to, if you could, I hope it's a minute or two you could take to get them in terms of all that you have to say and get them off. So I give you the opportunity to take a go and get those things that you need to say, get them in this morning. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief, but I want to sort of close off GT on just to point out some things. Now, the Prime Minister did indicate that men speak initially that they're going to start with health as one of the transformative pillars, right? I think so. I stand corrected. Now, the new National Party government, we have been the leader in investment in health in this country by far. And every time the NDC have been in power, they have an opportunity to do something, and they have not been able to get it done. But we have been the leader in terms of support for workers, initiative for workers. We are the leader in that cause. We have led, and the facts are there. In terms of support for the people, the rural community, all the major social programs in this country have been initiated by the new National Party government, a new National Party government, and that is the fact. And I just want to underscore that. And let me go back to health. And we're talking about transformation. It is the new National Party government who came out publicly and said, we are going to establish a national health insurance. We said that. And we started the work. Significant work have gone in to achieving this. It's a difficult task. It's a big task, but that is what this party do. We always take on the big things for this country. You want it done, you speak to the National Party government. And those are the facts. And so I just wanted to underscore that in terms of transformation, for health. We have been transforming the health sector for years, and we have done it in recent time by looking at the national health insurance for green agents. We're trying to create a stable opportunity so the person can access critical healthcare services, especially specialized healthcare services. That is what we're trying to do. So when they say that we have not been doing anything transformative, that is far from the truth. That is far from the truth, and I think maybe we may have to take some responsibility for not speaking of those things in the context and the impact that it has had for the nation as a whole. And so, but those are the facts. Those are the facts. So I just want to touch on that, and also just to say that we have a number of projects, a number of significant projects that you highlighted. Some, the Monkuma Road, that is going to make a significant transformation for that community, and also for the traffic, to assist with traffic. The traffic lights, we believe that it's important that's what we believe at the time when we initiated that project, that the restoring the traffic lights are controlled for the safety and the smooth movement of traffic in some key areas. And most persons would understand why. That is a clear. The River Road project have been long outstanding, and we are able to get it going with local capacity. And those guys are doing a fantastic job, and we must commend them in that regard. We have a new fire station with new fire truck in St. David's, and it's a move so that every parish, every community have a sustainable and adequate fire response. That is what we have been doing. The polyclinic I spoke about, the new hospital wing, airport development, repairs to several health centers across the country, and that is a fact. Schools, hundreds of schools. This is the most restorative work and infrastructure work that has been ever done in the education sector. It's under the National Party government, and those are the facts. Those are the facts, and those are the state of affairs that is taking place in this country, GT. So I just want to close it. I want to thank you for allowing me to be on today. I just think it was important that we touch on those things for the nation to know. And as I said, I know sometimes when you touch on issues, especially the truth, supporters of the government may get angry and may say all kind of things. This is not a personal attack on anybody. This is a national political debate and what is taking place in the country. And I believe that as a party, we have a responsibility to respond to what is being said. And basically, that's all we're doing. So I don't have anything personal against anybody on the opposite side. That's not how I was raised. Thank God my mom instilled those values in me. And so it's because of those values I can speak with confidence that this political discourse is one that we believe that the new National Party has the outstanding merit in this case. And as I use the word merit, I just recall there was also a pronouncement that persons are going to be hired based on merit. But it is far from the truth what is going on. It is far from the truth. It's a really sad situation. And it's not really a laughing matter. Maybe I'm smiling, but it's not a laughing matter. Homes, families are distraught. They are distraught financially. They are distraught with fear. I can tell you, we get calls. We get calls. People are scared to be seen with certain persons for fear that they may lose their job if they're perceived to be associating with somebody who might be perceived to be supporting the National Party. And that is not good for our country. We would want that to be removed immediately. That is not something, that's not you see it in other countries where those conflicts come about, and people are scared and stuff. This is not Grenada. This is not Grenada, Carriacou, and that is something that we, as a party, we do not support in any way at all. So I just want to close on that matter.
Senator Cox, I want to thank you so much for being part of To The Point for today, Opposition Tuesday, and certainly hope we could have a conversation like this sometime again in the future. I'm not sure if you may be the representative next week. We could continue
I doubt it will
we can continue on the line that we started.
I don't know when I'll return, but I'm happy to come and speak on infrastructure and other matters. I mean, I was a Minister for Youth and Sports too as well, and we have done significant work in lighting playing fields, bringing that. I mean, when I walked in last suggest and I saw hardball, leatherball cricket play on the lights, I mean, I was so happy. I mean, a joy in my heart to know that I was part of an initiative to do that for cricketers. I mean, it is so. I mean, I just want to say a quick congratulations to Emmanuel Stewart, our West Indies cricketer. He's a Grenadian who is from Carriacou. He graduated from the university. So congratulations to Emmanuel Stewart and successfully completing his degree program, and wish him all the best. I know he's playing cricket, he's doing well. He has an injury that he's nursing, and I just want to, myself on behalf of the party, really thank him and his family for his contribution and support. He's a wonderful individual. I think he will do wonders for representing Grenada Carriacou Company.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Cox, thanks once again for being part of the program, and all the best for the rest of the day, sir.
Right. Yeah, you too as well. It's a pleasure being here.
All right. Hey, folks, that's what we say goodbye for To The Point for today. Those of you who participated some way or the other in terms of listening, and those of you who are viewing, join us again for another edition of To The Point. That certainly will be tomorrow's program. Have yourself a great day for being with us here on the GBN Network. Goodbye.